Hi guys. Well, you know, for the past roughly 2 years I've been living and working from my sailboat on a part-time basis, and during that time I've been thinking about some of my decisions and what I might do a little bit different. So I've come up with a list of 10 points that you may want to consider if you're looking to live aboard and work. Now, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on each of these. We'll do that in some other videos. But you know, the first thing is, well, what type of work are you going to do? I mean, that's going to determine or have a bearing on the size boat and where you're going to be. You know, another thing is, well, how much equipment are you going to need? For example, I do these videos, so I have my video equipment, the drone, editing equipment. It doesn't take up a lot of space, but it does take up some space. Which brings to the next point. How much workroom are you going to need? I actually need a pretty fair amount of workroom to spread everything out so that I've got all of my equipment and everything, and my notes and my pads, everything ready to go. I just check these off as we go here. Well, how many people are on board? Makes a difference. Now, I'm by myself. If another person were on board with me on this 30-foot boat, it'd be pretty tight. Well, the conditions of the boat. You know, what condition is the boat in? How much work does it need? Now, I continually work on the boat. I'm doing some projects now. I'm actually doing a little bit of varnish work on it. But the condition of the boat does make a difference, because if it needs a lot of work, you're not going to have the time to do the work to make the money to fix the boat up. So, you know, these are all considerations. And how small and how large a boat do you need? Sometimes larger is just that. It's just larger. It doesn't necessarily fulfill the need for more space. And of course, if it's too small and you don't have room for all of your things, which brings me to the next point. You know, when you're staying on board, are you going to, hey guys, and you see, this is another great thing about the marina hopping. Great people all around all the time. Anyway, all right, so are you going to be staying in one port, or are you going to be traveling around? Now, I travel around. I don't have a car here. My only transportation then is this boat and the bicycle. And if you're going to stay primarily in one location, then you could have, like my boat neighbor Dan has a trailer that he has here that he works out of. Or the marina has storage rooms that you can rent. So you can put some of your equipment and have things in there and live aboard type of things. You don't need everything on board at the same time. Creature comforts. This is a big consideration. Air conditioning, heat, refrigeration instead of an ice box. You know, if you're living on board and you're traveling around, you may be in locations where it's not convenient to go to the grocery store. So you got to be able to have provisions on board. TV and internet service. Again, depending on what kind of work you're going to do, that becomes an important factor. One of my boat neighbors, she's a graphics designer and designs websites. So internet is extremely important to her. And also cell phone service. You know, if you're going to have to make sales calls and you need to contact people, cell phone service is very important. So when you're trying to decide what you want to do to live on board and work, it's not always just about the boat. It's about the location, the equipment you're going to need, how you're going to travel, and some other factors as we've mentioned here. Now in the next video, I think we're going to talk a little bit about, well, what kind of work can you do on board to make money and sustain a living? Anyway, guys, think about these 10 points. I'm going to bullet them here for you. And happy and safe boating to you, your family, and friends.